Support for the Klyph Notes podcast comes from Acapella Apparel, an idea born from a love of hip-hop, funk, and soul music and its surrounding cultures. With fashion being a huge visual part of the cultures, they've created expressive images to pay homage, invoke nostalgia, and showcase the elements that make up the lifestyle and cultures of these genres. Acapella, apparel for the music lifestyle. For more information, check out acapella.com. That's AKEPELE.com.
Do a lot of things. Yes, yes, you do a lot of things. So, which was one of the things. I mean, it was that's why I was like, yo, I definitely need to. I mean, definitely want to do a radio show too. Definitely want to do podcast situation because I feel like your story is so interesting. Like you've done something.
Yeah. Did it? Wrote a book about it.
And that's right. That's what I'm saying. And wrote the book as well. So.
Been there, did that, wrote the book.
Yes, y'all. It's your guy DJ Klyph, man. We're back again with another episode of the Klyph Notes podcast, brought to you everywhere you catch your podcast, man. That's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and like literally everywhere else that you listen to your podcast. You can also check it out on my website, djklyph.com. But yeah, man, check it out. Rate, comment, subscribe. All of those things really help us. We're also an Alexis skill now, so if you rock with Alexis, you can just say Alexis enable the Klyph, or I think it's enable Klyph Notes. So however you check out your podcast, man, definitely check us out and share it to all of your networks. And then of course, big ups to X-Ray FM for being the gracious host as we record here, and then shout out to Acapella Apparel for their support for the last year of what we've been doing here at Klyph Notes. As always, man, I always feel really blessed to have these opportunities to sit and chop it up with folk. And today is really no different. Excited for this one, man. We've been talking about doing it for a while, and my schedule I'll be tripping sometimes, but but it's so dope to have an opportunity to sit down and chop it up with this cat, because he's got I think a really, really cool story. So excited to get into it. So let them know who you are, bro.
Yo, my name is Tillman. I'm new to the city, but I've been around a lot. I'm a producer, beat maker. I do a lot of live performances around town, and I'm glad to be sitting here with DJ Klyph.
That's what's up, B, man. Welcome to the podcast, first of all.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, bro. And let me publicly say thank you so much for your support of the scene, man. Like you said, you're not from here necessarily, but you I see you out.
Yeah, people see me around. Like I'm that dude that's just always kind of like who is that? Who is this kid over here? Yeah, I'm always around, man.
No doubt. Well, I think it means a lot, man. It means a lot to. I mean, as an artist, I know you know yourself. It means a lot when people are supporting what you're doing in any way. Mm-hmm. But you've definitely shown that support. So whether it be mic check or just even liking and reposting stuff on social media, man, I just want to say thank you for that.
No problem, man.
So, like you said, you're not originally from here. So where are you from?
I just moved here from Pasadena. I lived there for about 4 years, but I moved all around the city for like the past 15 years. So just LA in general, the valley, everything. Yeah. I just moved to Portland like last October, so I haven't even been here a full year yet.
You fresh, brand new, D.
Yeah,
that's what's up. So first up, what you think about the city? What you think about Portland?
Man, I love the city. I moved here because I visited here like a couple of times, and I was like, yo, this is a great city. I was telling my wife, like, if we ever, want to move, this might be someplace we want to check out. So we actually went like all around the country, actually, like looking at cities to live in, and like Portland won. So that's how I got here, man.
That's what's up, bro. So I feel like the first time that we met was at mic check.
Yeah,
you came through just to say what's up.
Yeah,
introduce yourself, which was really, really dope. Artists out there, that's a great way to start networking. It's just just come up and introduce yourself to people. We're kind of nice. We're kind of nice here.
Yeah, just people.
Yeah, just people. Exactly. But then you also came and bearing gifts, man. And I always perk up whenever I get an opportunity to get my hand on some vinyl, B.
Yeah, man. I pressed that vinyl because I just wanted to have something that not everybody has. Anybody can say, yo, check out my, hand you a CD or, give you a business card. But like when you give people vinyl, they perk up. They're like, oh, shoot, this guy's serious, but also I freaking love vinyl.
Right.
Like everybody, nobody's turning down vinyl. So I mean, it's just a calling card. Like,
Yeah.
so it's cool to like have that to pass out to people.
No doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt. That project was something that that's really unique because it's a beat tape essentially.
Yeah.
But it's more than a beat tape because there's a story
absolutely.
behind it, man.
Yeah, the story is about a guy that this isn't my story personally, but it's about a guy that moves from a small town.
Yeah.
And then moves to the big city, and he kind of misses his small town. He misses his family, his friends, his girlfriend, and everything. But he's grinding, trying to do whatever it is he wants to do. It's never made clear what he's doing because obviously it's instrumental.
Right.
But he's at the new city, and he's trying to figure out, if he's really supposed to be here or not. And then he realizes that he doesn't really miss his girl. He doesn't miss his family. What he really misses is the comfort. And comfort is great, but comfort isn't going to get you what you want.
Come on.
So he puts on, he hustles a little harder, and you have to listen to the end of the album to figure it out. But and every song is meant to just give you a different story. So that was the whole thought process behind the album. Yeah,
that's what's up, man. So such a unique way to build a project like that, especially an instrumental project.
Yeah, and the album's called My Way Home, by the way. So
and it's available. You can get the digital. I know is available on your Bandcamp. You still got any vinyl left?
Yeah, I still have vinyl. So anybody, it's in record stores all over the city.
Word.
I've been going around, like all the record stores know me. I'm that dude. So I go around, all the record stores know me. So if they don't have it, ask for it. They can get it for you, or you can go on my Bandcamp and request it from there. If you're outside the city, I can mail it to you. Whatever you want, whatever you want, I got it.
No doubt. I'll get it in your hands one way or another.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm chopping up with my man Tillman here on the Klyph Notes podcast, man. And again, your story is crazy unique. So that's one of the things I think is so dope about having you here. So then once I started looking more at, really once I checked out the website, which is dope, man, like, so obviously I'm getting to know you as a producer, and then I start reading your bio. Bro, you done some stuff, B.
I've been around, man. I've been around.
So in terms of your artistic journey, you have to keep me straight though. You started off as an MC?
Yeah, I started off as an MC, but I didn't have anybody to make beats for me. So,
bro, that is such a common story, B.
So I was making beats myself. And then I found out that was the fun part. That's what I really like doing. So that was kind of what I leaned more towards and what I enjoyed doing. Plus I got like kind of a bad memory, so like the lyrics wouldn't stick in my head the way they should.
That's horrible, bro. That's horrible.
So, I had to, making beats, everything's recorded there. So
no doubt.
Yeah.
So let's nerd out just a little bit for any of the producers who are out there listening. In terms of production, what do you use for production?
I use Ableton Live.
Okay.
And I have an MPK Mini.
Okay.
And that's literally all I use.
Oh, word.
That's it.
That's what's up.
I don't have, regardless of what I just said, I got vinyl, but I personally don't have any vinyl that's not my own.
Yeah.
I don't have like a huge vinyl collection just because I move around so much, and dragging all this stuff around just bummed me out.
Yeah.
So I did have vinyl, but I was like, I can't do this. So, yeah. So that's all I use. Everything I use is digital. Everything. That's it.
That's what's up. It's funny, B, because years ago, like so many people, I started off writing because writing is easy, right? And I'm old school enough that it was, your beats was your guy doing the beatbox. You know what I'm saying? And then I got into production, kind of the same situation. Like got access to the ability to record. Had nobody really making beats for us, so I started producing. But when I started producing, bro, it was, man, I started off on a in Sonic EPS 16 Plus, where you had like 8 seconds of sample time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was cool because it really forced you to be creative in a different kind of way.
Yeah.
But
The restriction. The restriction makes you more creative. Yeah.
Absolutely. But just such a grimy sound, man. I loved that sound.
Yeah.
And I haven't really done any production in a minute. I'm supposed to be getting in the studio in a minute with my guy OG1, who's been doing more production. But
Yeah, I gave him a record too. He got a record too.
Exactly. See, taking care of cats. Taking care of cats
I
for real.
got him
For
a
real.
record too. Yeah, I talked to him. Cool guy.
Yeah, and here in the city, I mean, I think that's again one of the cool things that's happening right now. There is so much collaboration, people kind of building with one another.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of collaboration and building from a production standpoint, you just recently did a set, kind of a set featuring producers. Man, talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just did last night. I got a show at Specs Records and Tapes, where I just like called a bunch of guys that were beat makers. I wanted people that like made beats, but also had like a live aspect to it, not just like standing there with a laptop just playing beats, but also had like a little live live part to it.
Yeah.
So I got this cat, this guy, he's like a teenager. He's like 17, 18 years old. Yeah. His name is Tabor Arias.
Okay.
He's super dope. He's like really young. I'm trying to see if I can sneak him into some of the some of the clubs.
Yeah.
So he could play with me. But he was really dope. I also got Blank Blank Lang.
Yeah. Shout out to Lang.
He was super dope. And one of my favorite cats, Ari Sinclair.
Okay.
He's super dope. He's putting out a bunch. He's gonna be working like later on this year.
Got you.
He's been on a bunch of other people's radar. I'm glad that I got him.
Yeah.
But when you hear this guy's beats, you're gonna listen.
Oh, that's
like
what's up.
This guy's super dope.
That's what's
so
up.
Later on this year, he's gonna be dropping some stuff.
No doubt.
Yeah. So
like I said, obviously my connection with you was really, really cool, just in terms of you feeling, confident in approaching. Is that sort of how this collective got together, just meeting people and building?
That's how I was in LA for the past 15 years. It's all schmoozing.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I mean, when you go to a show, you're talking to people, you know, in a real way, not like in a slimy, like, yo, you do something for me, I do something for you. No, It's like for real, like you trying to build relationships. So that's what I do. I always try to go to shows and talk to people.
Yeah.
And just learn more about the city and learn more about who's doing what.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why I did the show, because some of those beat makers hadn't met each other.
Yeah.
So, if I introduce somebody to somebody else that maybe they haven't met them, they haven't heard them, they'll be like, oh, like this cat is dope. Maybe we can do something together. Yeah. So, I bring people together is what I'm saying.
That's what's up, bro. And see, and that's one of the things that I love, because it's really always been my thought. If I can use my platform to bring people together, and as those people come together, who knows what blossoms out of that. I think that's how you really build real community, is doing things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your bio, your website also talks about other things that you've been involved with. You have a book that's available.
Yeah, I do. The name of the book is How to Fail at Everything,
which is so intriguing, B.
A practical guide for coasting through life. So I wanted to write sort of a memoir, but I wanted to do it a little different.
Yeah.
Not just like a story, like I was born here until, I wanted it to be just something a little more innovative. So what I did was I took different slices of my life and talked about the things that I failed at, and I told that story just in chronological order.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about me not doing great in high school, because I didn't learn this until I was much later, till I was much older, that I have dyslexia. So high school was tough.
Yeah.
When you're reading out loud and you can't do it, like you don't know that you have this problem. You just think you're dumb.
Yeah.
And so it's talking about going through high school and all that. Also, I was in a small high school. I was the black kid. I was that guy.
I've had that experience. Man, so I know what that feels like.
Yeah, where it's a really small school, and I was like the black kid in the school. So it's telling that story too. But also, I've dropped out of college twice. I don't think anyone's ever done that. So I got two chapters on like dropping out of college the first time, dropping out of college the second time. But it's also like stories like failing with women, with money, with jobs, getting fired from jobs, just like all the different things. And it's pretty much just my life story, basically, just all the things that I failed at. And what you learn is that you just try different things.
Yeah.
And there really is no such thing as failure. You learn from it. That's what the real message is. Like, you're not really failing as long as you learn something.
Yeah.
You fall down, you get back up. And that's what I learned. So that's what the book is about. I mean, it has a funny title, so like people will like check it out.
Yeah.
But that's really what the story is all about. Also, I was a recording engineer. So when we were talking about equipment a few minutes ago, like I know, or at least I used to know, like all the equipment. I just don't like have all of it.
Right.
But like I actually went to school and like those big, like when you see like Dr. Dre sitting at the table there, like I've done that before. Like I know all of that. All those knobs and buttons. Like I know how to use all that stuff. So, but I just like keeping it simple.
No doubt. It's. I think that's so cool. You've used so many different forms of art to sort of express yourself, express who you are, which I think is amazing, man. I think it's also pretty courageous because you're really putting yourself out there for people to, especially in the day and age that we're in right now. To a greater extent, people always want to pick apart this, that, and the other. But like you said, you learn from every situation, and I think that's a huge lesson for all of us to learn, man. That you keep like try it and just keep going.
Yeah, that's what I do. Like I've just always I learned that over the years is that I am an artist. I'm not trying to be an artist. That's just who I am.
Yeah.
Like I also have a master's degree in experimental psychology.
Word.
So I can do all that other stuff, but what I am is an artist.
Yeah.
And since I was a little kid, that's kind of all I've ever done. Whether it was like making my own comic books as a little kid, drawing in the when I couldn't read, when I couldn't read all the other stuff, I was drawing and everything. So that just kind of it always built. Like you remember in like church when you were given like the Mother's Day poem or whatever, you had to read the poem.
Right.
Like I would like take the poem and like add some stuff to it, and I would write out like I would write my own poem.
Yeah.
I would take the poem they gave me and write out my own, and I would give this like big, long like beautiful speech and everything with the poem. So like I was always creating, like no matter what I was doing, I was always doing that. So that's just who I am, no matter.
That's what's up, V.
No matter the day.
And then the other thing that I don't know, I think we were talking about before the microphones came on, that you've also done is you've done some stand up, B.
I did stand up for about 3 years, and like there's nothing scarier than that, right?
Well, that's what you know what I mean. Come on, V.
Yeah, I mean after you've done that, I mean what else is there?
Right.
Like that's
So
but
go ahead.
Yeah, it was literally like the most fun thing I've ever done in my life. The only reason why I didn't like pursue it because I was a little old.
Yeah.
I was kind of a little late to the game. I was probably like maybe 30 the first time I went up. Like I was actually 28 the first time I ever went up on stage.
Yeah.
And I was in grad school. Like I just said, I was trying to get my master's. So it was like, you got to be if you're gonna do comedy, you got to be 100% into it. And I respect it so much that if I'm not doing it 100%, then I really shouldn't be doing it. But honest to God, like going on stage and having a great set, like there's almost nothing better than that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like I've been on stage for a lot of different things,
Yeah.
but stand up is one of the most beautiful things.
Well, because it's literally just you on the microphone.
Yeah, it's just you. There's nothing to hide behind. You
Right.
can't hide behind a melody.
Right.
Can't hide behind your voice.
Right.
Hide behind a guitar. Nothing.
Yeah.
Like it's just you. That's it.
So what even like how did you like what even got you on stage doing stand up?
What got me on stage? I think my school was having like a talent show, and they were just. It was one night where I was just laying in bed and I was bored and I couldn't sleep, and I was thinking, if I was to stand up, what joke would I tell? Because I don't know, I was just trying to go to sleep or whatever, and I kind of like wrote a joke. Sometimes like I wonder if I could do this because since I was a kid, I always like studied comedy. Like my dad had and still has like a crazy like record collection, and he has comedy. Like I listen to Red Fox's. I don't know if I can say the name, but you better watch. You need to wash your.
Yeah.
That came. I was about like 8 years old the first time I heard like Red Fox, and if you know Red Fox, 8-year-old ain't supposed to be listening to that.
Right.
But like changed my life forever though, because like I was listening to that and Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor, all those records when I was like a little kid when I wasn't supposed to be listening to that, but I was still doing it, and like I studied it ever since I was a kid. I always loved stand up, and it just I don't know. I didn't even know that I was studying it. It was just what I was doing.
Right.
And then when I got older, I was like, I wonder if I could do it. And I went up, and it's just the most amazing thing.
That's what's up, bro. That again, just so man, your journey is so crazy, bro. So now music is obviously your full-time situation.
Yeah.
Here in Portland, I'm always curious, bro. Like, so I've been in Portland, really behind the Portland scene, doing my best to support and really get to know the Portland scene now for a little over a decade, which, I mean, in the grand scheme of things is not that long. But I've been curious as we see a growth just in the population of this area of the Northwest, like people's perspective outside of the scene. Because my focus has been so much on local cats. I'm always curious, people who are not in Portland, like from the outside looking in, what their perception is. So before you got here, like I know you said you visited a bit. Like what was your perception of the Portland scene musically?
It was a place where it seemed like everybody was working on something. Like not even necessarily just music. It just seemed like there's a bunch of artists here, and if you have like some type of dream or some idea, if you want to like make jewelry or whatever, like you could probably do it here.
Yeah.
Like it just seems like a place that's welcoming. It seems like if you try it, people are going to support you. People are going to like help you out. So that's what it felt like. And that's not even just the music. It's just pretty much like anything. You see like stores that are just like, how is that open? Like why? Like why? Who needs like artisanal mayonnaise? Like who is doing that? Like why? How does it stay open? But
right.
So I mean, somebody's supporting it. So it just felt like a place like that.
It's like some Portlandia type stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure there's an episode somewhere.
No, that's cool. Cause like I said, it's hard. Like when you're in it, you're in it. This is what you know. This is what you see. So, and I've always felt so strongly about the talent here in the city, but it's hard to know what that looks like. And every once in a while, I'd hear, not every once in a while, but like when cats would be on tour and they would come back, they would say they'd get love from people outside the city, like, oh, yo, you're from Portland? Which sometimes is a little surprising because I know before I moved to Portland, people were like, no joke, B. No joke. Two of the things, looking back, I just have to laugh. One was, yo, they got black people in Portland?
Yeah. I can see that.
And then the other one was, yo, they still like they got like paved roads and stuff in Portland? Like I moved here in the early 90s. I'm like, yo, come on.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. I
You know
don't
what I
know
mean?
about that.
We ain't got no wagon trains, you know what I'm saying?
That seems a little odd, but I don't know. I guess you think of Oregon Trail, I guess.
Yeah,
That's
I
all
guess,
they
B. So that's just it's always interesting to me, what people's views are. And then it's so cool that now that you're here, you've felt embraced. And and artistically, I do think that's a pretty common theme, at least for the people that I run with, finding artists who are new to the scene and then embracing those artists. And we've seen how artists who are not from the city, Artful Dodger, Mike Bogan. I mean, two people who've had a nice amount of success, who rep Portland, not being from here originally. So that's what's up.
Cool.
Tell me about the new project. I've been listening to a little bit of it, bro. It's available right now on Bandcamp. 1994.
Yeah, 1994 is for pre-order right now. It goes on sale on Friday the 13th, July. So don't be unlucky and get that. It is an album that's inspired by early 90s hip hop. That's why it's called 1994.
Yeah, man. It's my era, B.
Yeah, mine too.
Yep.
It's really just boom bap, drums, just a lot of jazzy loops or just like really grimy loops.
Yeah.
And it just, when I made my last album came out in January, and I took about a month off just to breathe and, try to promote the album too. So I wasn't really making anything. But for whatever reason, when I got back to making beats, like everything I made just sounded like it was just, I don't know, made in a basement or something, like like in the subway in New York or something. Yeah. Like I don't know why, but everything just kind of sounded like that. And almost all my albums, this is my 5th project as Free Tillman, And like all my projects kind of have a theme to them.
Yeah.
And like this one was that I just felt like, okay, well, this is the theme that I'm going with. So how this album works is that like the first quarter is just really just early 90s hip hop. We're talking RZA, talking Q-Tip, Diamond D, Pete Rock, Primo. It's just that sound, just trying to like recreate that sound.
Yeah.
And the remainder of the album is like rooted in that, but it's a little more like my sound now. It's a little more futuristic. So how it works is that the first quarter of the album is going to be available on all streaming, like any streaming platform. If you're a Jay-Z fan, it's on Tidal. If you're a Dr. Dre fan, it's on Apple.
Right.
If you're cheap, it's on Spotify. So like the album, the EP version is going to be available on that.
Yeah.
If you want the whole thing, you can go on my Bandcamp and just get the whole thing, which is 45 minutes worth of music.
Wow.
And it's just dope beats.
Yeah.
In my opinion, anyway, if I may say so myself.
Right.
But yeah, you can either like get the whole album on Bandcamp and get 45 minutes worth of music, or you can just listen to it for free or whatever you have.
Yeah.
Just listen to like the 15-minute EP and just get that straight. Like I guess like the first quarter is like that straight dope.
Right.
Like straight 90s grimy hip hop.
Right.
And then the rest of it is a little more it's a little, like I said, a little more futuristic.
Yeah. That's a dope concept, man. Yeah. I don't know that I've had an opportunity to see an artist who's done a project quite that way. Where I mean, you get an opportunity to see what's there, but you only get to really get it if you get it.
If you want to pay for it, you can get like another 30 minutes worth of music.
Word.
Not, I mean, it's like $10.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You can walk down the street in Portland and spend $10 and not even know why. Real quick.
Yep.
Get a cup of coffee and you.
I've been kind of checking it out right now. Dumb Body and RZA Bumps.
Yeah.
Joints, B.
Yeah,
Joints.
that the RZA thing is like the first time I ever tried to make a beat, I was like, I want to make something like RZA. I want to make something like RZA. Obviously, it sounded nothing like it. Like, I was nowhere close. Yeah. And I think like for the first time in my life, after like a decade of trying, I actually made a beat that kind of sounded like RZA, and I was like, oh my, yeah, RZA-ish. So I was like, oh, that's why it's called RZA Bumps or Razor Bumps or however you want to say it. It's either way. Yeah. RZA, he pronounces it both ways. So you can pronounce it both ways. Yeah. But that's why it's called that, just because it was the first time I was like, oh man, I think I finally did it. Like I finally cracked the code a little bit. Yeah. So I'm like 1/10 of what he is, but it's yeah. I just wanted to get that. And the Dumb Body. I don't really have a story about that one, but that one was just, I don't know. It was just like this really just jazzy loop.
Well, and you know, one of the things I love about Dumb Body is, again, just because of the era that we came up in, I love sample based hip hop.
Yeah,
and I know that, you know, we went through that time where, like, if you're gonna sample something, you really have to do a really great job of chopping loops, right? But I love the idea of just like stuff that's, I mean, I'm sampling stuff because it's a part of the art that I'm creating. And I think that like even the quotes and all those pieces, they're there. And a lot of the commercial joints, B, that you took to make that, it's like, oh, I remember that. You know what I mean?
You talking about the Blockbuster video? Yeah, I got a Blockbuster video commercial in there.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
just to take
snap.
it back.
Yeah.
And like the Marky Mark underwear, Calvin Klein. Yeah, just to take it back, just to let you know where
exactly
what year we in.
Exactly. So the project's though it releases on the 13th.
Yeah.
So people can cop it on the 13th, but then there's also going to be an event on the 13th that people are going to be able to check out.
Yeah. It's at Beacon Sound on Mississippi. I think it's 3636. Yeah, it is. 3636 Memphis. I'm sorry, I said Memphis. It's at Beacon Sound, 3636 Mississippi.
Yes.
From 8 to 11. And I got my homie Burnt Sienna is gonna be performing.
Word.
Love Jones is gonna be performing.
My guy.
And Omari Jazz is gonna be performing.
Okay, word.
If you haven't heard any of those cats, you really need to check them out. I wouldn't have them on the show if they weren't dope.
No doubt.
There are guys that like. There were some people like Amari Jazz is one of the people that when I was making a list, he was like at the top. Like I really really want this guy. I really want to perform with him because he's super dope. It's kind of like I don't know how he'll feel about this comparison, but it reminds me of like Flying Lotus.
Okay.
So if you're into that type of thing, I mean, so yeah, it's dope to me. So I'm not sure if he has anything coming out, but he should.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, put something out.
Put the pressure on him, B. Put the pressure on.
Yeah, but he all the guys are super dope. Obviously, Love Jones, he does the A Beat Happening, and the first show that I ever did was A Beat Happening. So he's the co-creator of that show. So I had to put him on because I mean, I don't know if I would have had a show if he hadn't put me on. So big shout out to him.
That's what's up, man. So obviously, learning more of your stuff. Definitely a fan of Love Jones. He's been a guest on both Welcome to the Neighborhood and he did an episode of Klyph Notes. So my audience is definitely familiar with who he is and what he does. So just with that, I know the showcase is gonna be fresh.
Yeah. He's a cool guy, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate him and everything that he does for Portland hip hop, and he's a dope producer too, man.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Bro, I can't help but notice you rocking the De La tee, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. For all the people that can't see. Maybe you're gonna have to put this. You were debating on whether or not to like do the video, but I think this shirt alone warrants you to do like a video. Camera 1, camera 2.
Yes.
Everybody check this out. No, I got this on their website. They may be sold out by now, but they have. I'm wearing the De La Soul 3 Feet High and Rising
classic album
cover T-shirt.
Yeah,
and it's just it's super dope. You should see it,
man. Yeah, they gonna see it one way or another. They gonna see you rocking that. I'm a huge De La fan. I had a chance to. I think within the last 10 years, every time they've come to Portland, I've seen them. So I got to see them this year at the sold out.
I was there.
Bruh. Them dudes, man.
Yeah, man.
Huge Native Tongue fans.
Yeah, man.
You going to the Lauryn Hill show?
No, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it.
Yeah, I was debating. Yeah. I think is Nas playing that show?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think I saw that because I know he's doing dates with her, so I think he's gonna be there. I know De La's doing some dates with her, but they're not coming to Portland. But you listened to the new Nas project?
I did.
What you think?
It's not his best work. It's not his best work. I mean, I don't want no smoke,
right?
But I'm saying, I mean, I've heard better.
It's interesting, bro, because I've been listening to the project, and a lot of people have some things to say about the project. But one of the things that's interesting to me, and so, from a producer standpoint, is where this question comes from. But a lot of folk are saying it almost sounds like Nas recorded all his joints, potentially to beats that are not the beats that were actually released. Did you? I mean, from your producer's ear.
I mean, he had the song out with DJ Khaled. Nas album done.
Yeah.
So I don't know where that album is, or maybe he took that and maybe this is the album that was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, and also like who knows what Kanye was doing. He it seemed like he made everything like the week before or like two or 3 days before. So I doubt that he went in there and laid all those verses in 2 days.
Yeah.
So he probably already had. I mean, with the Pusha T album, Pusha T already recorded his album on other stuff. This is what he said.
Yeah.
This is what Pusha T said.
Yeah.
He recorded his album already, and then Kanye said, "I think I can make it better." He recorded it with other producers, and Kanye said, "I think I could do it better if I do it all myself." So obviously, like, Pusha T already had that album done, and he just, he just put it over different beats. I don't know if he laid it again. I don't know, but he already had it written at least, if nothing else.
Right.
So I seriously doubt that he made that album in like the 2 or 3 days that supposedly Kanye was making it. So I mean, that sounds like a pretty solid theory.
That's just so interesting to me, B. Like that's well, I don't know. Is that a thing now, or is that just a Kanye thing?
Is what a thing like
to record to beats as you're right, or to write to beats and then have the album come out or have the project come out with your vocals on beats that you didn't necessarily write to.
I've never heard. I mean, I'm sure it's happened before, but I haven't heard it as a thing.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like a thing. I haven't heard anyone else talk about it.
Yeah,
I don't I mean, that seems like a very odd thing to do because especially with Nas, like he hits the pocket. Like it's got to be like a certain type of beat. He moves in and out of the, the drum pattern. And if it's a different beat, it's not going to sound the same. So, I mean, I don't know.
It's just interesting, bro. It's so interesting. I mean, especially when you take an artist like Nas. You know what I'm saying? You just, I don't know.
I don't know.
So obviously, your last several projects or your projects have been beat tapes. As Free Tillman, do you have any thoughts on producing for an MC?
If someone approaches me that I respect, that's like, let's do some work, then I'm obviously about it. But honestly, and then this is no negative thing towards, MCs or anything, like when I make a beat, the beat is done. Like I'm not really, I like instrumental albums. I listen to instrumental albums all the time. I listen to beat tapes all the time.
Yeah.
I'm that dude. So, I mean, I listen to Mad Libs, like all those Mad Lib albums, like that. I love those things. I love MF Doom's albums. Like I listen to all that. So
Doom, bruh.
I don't.
Doom is that dude, bro.
I know, right? So I love instrumental albums. So I'm never like putting something out like I hope someone raps on it. Like if somebody that's dope, wants to work, I mean, let's work. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But that's never the focus. That's just how I feel.
I feel you. It's interesting. There's a story. I'm going to tell this story that I think has been told in my circle publicly, but just in case it hasn't, I'm just going to tell this general story. There was a producer who put out. I don't remember if it was a full project or if he had just put out a ton of like tracks, beats, and there was an artist from a city in a state in the United States. I really don't know if this story's been told yet. But this artist, I think it must have been an album, or it was just a bunch of tracks. Anyway.
Getting very generic,
right?
Man.
I'm trying to be generic. As you know what I'm saying. I'm trying not to make sure. And wrote to all of these beats, and then sent them to the producer, or let the producer hear them and say, "Yo, I just want you to know how big of a fan of you I am." And I wrote to these, tracks. I just wanted you to hear them. Like this is just doing this out of the love, woo woo woo. And the producer heard him and was like, "Yo, this is this is dope." And I don't and initially didn't made kind of what you said, made the project, put it out there. Someone loved it, and then just wrote to it. And then I think that led to them working together.
Is this a recent, does this just happen? Then I think I know you're talking about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know
I'm sure we told. I'm sure that this story was told in one of my.
Well,
platforms.
I mean, he told me the story if it's who I think it is, but if it's something that just happened, I'm pretty sure I know you're talking about.
So if something like that happened,
I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's dope, it's dope. Like I just like dope music. So if you made some dope music, I mean,
that's what's up.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean. Why am I gonna hate on some dope music?
True. Being in the city now.
Oh, but also if you're getting paid for that dope music, and I'm not getting paid,
well,
then
we
got a problem.
Different. Exactly.
That's
And with that, man, we're in a place now where everybody has access to everything, and can easily take. I mean, and you hear it all the time. Where somebody just rhymed on my joint that I put out a year ago, and they're getting paid off of it. And especially when, we can all put out music on our own, no label.
Yep.
It's just me putting stuff out. So if somebody takes my stuff and records over it, I don't really have a whole lot of recourse. I mean, I don't have a label backing me.
Yep.
Probably, I may not have an attorney backing me. That's kind of whack, yo.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't know that it happens that often. I mean, I think, and you speak to me about it. I mean, I think 9 times out of 10, people are reaching out to one another. And
yeah, I mean, if it's somebody that's on the same level as you, it's not like a big, huge pop star. Then, I mean, they're probably not getting a ton of money off of it. They're probably not getting any money off of it. I assume that if somebody just takes the story that you're telling, it sounded like the dude did it for the love.
Yeah,
it wasn't anything malicious about it. He was just he liked the music and he made it.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
And then that relationship grew out of that, which was
so I mean,
really dope.
That's what happens when you do things for love, man. That's what it's about.
Yeah, man. Being here in Portland now, and you're creating, you're creating platforms for producers like yourself, man. There's so many great producers in Portland right now. The big names I think that, or the names that people may be familiar with, especially people in my circle. Trox, of course.
Absolutely.
Who's our DJ for Mic Check? One of our DJs for Mic Check. Excuse me. Theory Has It.
Absolutely, he's one of my favorites. I wanted to get him, but he was busy.
Theory's just that dude, bro.
Yeah,
just that dude.
Yeah, I love his beat so much.
See, it's so crazy, bro, because people tell me stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm like, but I'm sure that Theory said, anybody who's a Theory fan, not just production-wise, but as an MC, get ready.
Okay,
just
all right.
Get ready.
All right, I am on the edge of my seat.
Bruh, his last project, Father of the Light Bearer, was so dope, lyrically. So I'm always excited to see him run. Solomon, who used to go by Stuart Villain. Rev Shines, who just released the project with Conway. So many great producers.
He got a record too. Bruh. I met people just because, like, one person will tell me about somebody else, and then I'll go meet them, and then they'll tell me about somebody else, and that's how it's always worked. But Rev Sean's got a record too.
Yeah.
He introduced me to house shoes.
A word.
Yeah.
I
mean, come on.
Right? Nothing more needs to be said.
What? I mean, I'm speechless.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, bro. It's like, I was mentioning earlier, I'm always curious about what people on the outside looking in, what they think about or what they see of Portland, of the Portland music scene. But the truth of the matter is, bro, there are a lot of cats who come through Portland like on the low, just like come through Portland and play a set, whether it's a beat set or a DJ set, or just like randomly just be in the city, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, the city, I mean, like I was saying before, it just shows a lot of love. It's just a place where if you're an artist, people will want to take in your art.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what the art is, I mean, it just seems like that type of community. So
it's dope.
I see why people do that.
It's dope, man. So you have the show coming up on the 13th, which is the album release. This will be obviously it's gonna be a cool opportunity for people to see you, see what
absolutely.
you do live.
Yeah, my live set. I have a pretty nice live set. Like I have a nice live set. I like seeing producers go up and like mess with the buttons a little bit.
Right.
You know, then add a little something to the beat. And I have a pretty nice live set that I'm still working on, but it's pretty dope. I think people enjoy it.
No doubt. Well, we did we just did our 2-year anniversary of Mic Check, and we're expanding what we're doing. So we've actually added a segment where we want to feature some of our local producers.
Yeah.
So my man Trox, of course.
Yeah.
Trox did the first one.
Yeah.
And I'm reaching out to folk, people who are interested in getting down.
Hey, say the word, man.
That's what's up.
Say the word, man.
We got that on tape now. We got that on tape.
It's on camera.
Right.
It's on camera.
Right. So aside from the event on the 13th, you have plans for other live events?
I'm trying to book some right now because I mean it's tough, when you're doing everything yourself.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. I'm trying to book some more stuff for August. Just try to promote the album a little more.
Yeah.
But that's I don't have any other music stuff lined up after that, not directly, but I'm trying to get some more shows by August maybe.
Word. Now, when we talk about going back to just sort of how diverse you are with the things that you do, you're also doing some things that are not directly related to your beat making.
Yeah, actually, on the day after, on the 14th, if you know math, that's the day after the 13th.
This dude.
I'm doing a show called Backfence PDX Russian Roulette.
Okay.
It's a live storytelling show
Yeah.
at the Curious Comedy Theater. It's on MLK Boulevard.
Okay.
It starts at 7:30. It's this show. It's almost like a game show. They have people come up and you spin a wheel, and the wheel has a bunch of different prompts, and you choose whether or not you want to do the prompt. If you choose to do it, you go backstage and you have 5 minutes to think up a story, a true story, to tell the crowd. So you go back 5 minutes, you think of your story, you come back on stage and you have 5 minutes to tell your story. And then whoever has the best story at the end of the night gets like a bunch of gift certificates and everything. So it's like it's part stand up, it's part improv, and just storytelling. And it's just it's flexing that comedy muscle a little bit that I haven't flexed in a long time.
No doubt.
So it may be a train wreck, but you know, it'll be fun. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Right?
That's what's up, V.
But it'll be fun. I'll fail at something else.
There you go. There you go. If people are interested in checking out the book, I don't know if I mentioned this, if we mentioned it earlier, how can they get the book?
It is, you can, there's a link on my website, which is freetillman.com. So it's on there.
Okay.
Other than that, you can just, it's on Amazon. You can just look for Lee H. Tillman, LeeHtillman. That's my government name.
Okay.
For all you folks out there. My mother did not name me Free. My real
You
name
free!
Yeah. So you can just go on Amazon and look for it. I don't think there's any other book entitled How to Fail at Everything. So you could probably just Google that.
Yeah.
Or Google my name. It'll pop up.
That's what's
So
up.
yeah, it's available. You can get like the print copy, but most people, it's mostly like digital. Most people do the digital version, but you can get a print copy.
Word.
Print it to you, send it to you if you'd rather do that.
No doubt. No doubt. And then do you do some stuff with visuals, with video as well?
My live show has a little visual
Gotcha.
too, but like not. I mean, I have. Well, this is another thing. Like my wife and I
Oh, word.
have a travel show on YouTube.
Word?
Have a YouTube travel show called Journey Bean,
Okay.
and it's just us going to various places. Right now, it's all in Oregon. We've been up and down the coast. I've tried to go skiing. I've tried to learn how to ski. So if you want to see me fall a lot, you can check that episode out. We've gone to different parks, and we've been to like a wildlife safari. Saw some ostriches and some lions and stuff. So it's just us just going to different places and places that are like highly rated on the internet just to see if it's worth going to. The last episode was the Portland Art Museum.
Okay.
They had some really great stuff there that day. So it's just us just going around all over. We're planning an international trip.
Oh, word.
Probably like to South America. That's what we're thinking about. So we're gonna, Journey Bean is going international. So if you like travel shows, or you just look us up on YouTube, we have a website called thejourneybean.com, which has like all the pictures, because we both take pictures of all of our trips, and all the episodes are up on the website. So yeah, we do that too.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So that adds to the list of all the other things that I'm doing.
You a busy dude. Man.
Yeah, trying to stay busy, man.
Which is cool though. I mean, once again, just so well rounded, and to a great extent, all those things fit together.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any plans to do any visuals directly connected to 1994?
I'm thinking about hooking up with a director to make a video for this, for maybe a couple songs on there.
Yeah.
I have an idea of what I want to do for some stuff. So any directors out there, hit me up. Also, I do all the music for Journey Bean website too. I do all the music for the episodes.
Oh, word.
So I make all the background music for that too.
That's what's up.
So I'm constantly like working on stuff. Honestly,
Yeah.
like we're either like editing videos, or I'm making beats for the show, and then I make beats for my albums too.
Right.
So there's like two different sides. There's Lee Tillman, the producer,
Right.
like that makes like loopy background stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's Free Tillman, the producer. It makes all this other stuff.
That's
So,
what's
yeah.
up, bro. It gives you an opportunity to really to really expand
Yeah.
what you do.
Like I was saying, like I like creating stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like it's not about, I mean, the money would be great
Yes.
if somebody want to pay me.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah,
But
bruh, look, bruh. You know what I mean?
I mean,
I know what it's
absolutely.
like to do
Yeah.
stuff for the love. Yo, I need a sponsor up in
Yeah,
here.
man. Yeah, man. We can use some sponsors for Journey Bean, man. I will come to your place if you pay me. I will do it. We'll do it.
Did you do the artwork for the album?
The album cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the album cover too.
Like that's, I mean, even that is
Yeah.
such a
I
throwback
did.
to.
I did all my album covers. I think.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I've done all my album covers. Yeah.
The cover art for 1994, especially though, man, that 90-minute cassette, bruh.
Yeah, man.
You know
Had
what
to
I
take
mean?
it back.
Oh my gosh, B.
Had to take it back.
So it's really, really dope. And like I said, from what I've been able to hear of the album so far, of the project so far, it's dope. Highly recommended.
Appreciate it, man.
Highly recommended,
Appreciate it,
man.
It means a lot.
So once again, man, let folk know, because this will be out in time. Let folk know about the show that you're doing on the 13th.
Again, the show I'm doing on the 13th is at Beacon Sound. It's at 3636 Mississippi. Starts at 8, ends at 11. We're having Burnt Sienna, Love Jones, and Amari Jazz are going to open up. They're all doing 30-minute sets. I'm doing an hour set, so you're really going to get, and it's all, like I told you, I got a dope live set, so come check it out. It's me sweating for an hour, and I think you're gonna really dig it if you show up.
That's what's up, bro. Man, it's so good I mean, we've had an opportunity to sort of chat briefly, you know, we're out and about. So it's really cool to sit and really hear.
Man. We could do an episode on every different thing that
right?
I'm doing right now.
Right? Because there's definitely enough to do that, bro.
Enough, yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to have an opportunity to sort of touch on all the many things that you do. I'm gonna say this, man. It's I think it's our gift as the Portland hip hop community to have you here.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And really being an active part of it. And just really excited to see more people get to see you do your thing, support you, and you know, see your thing grow, man.
Man, I'm glad I was welcomed in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah. The website is freetillman.com. Everything that you could want to access is there. And then if you're, like you said, if you into the travel situation, man, check out the YouTube page, which is
it's called thejourneybean.com.
Okay.
You just go to that website. Everything, all your Journey Bean needs will be met there.
Bruh, okay. Journey Bean, come on, help me.
It's called, well, it's just, we wanted to have something that was like, it was two words that you knew. Like, you know the word journey, you know the word bean, but you never heard them together.
Nope.
So that's
absolutely not.
That was why. Like, it sticks in your head. Like, it's just one of those things that you hear it and you'll never hear it in any other context. So that's why we called it that. Like, we didn't want to call it like Oregon, whatever, because what if we go outside of Oregon?
Right.
We didn't want to have a name that we'd be stuck with for, you know. So we just named it something like, you know, nice and fluffy so that you can call it, it can be whatever you want it to be.
Right.
It has the word journey in it. So it's travel.
That's what's up,
yes,
man.
And I do that with my lovely wife.
Word. There you go.
Man.
Got to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, and we edit everything together. We shoot all the videos together. The only thing, I make the music, but like everything else is 50-50.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Nothing like collaboration.
Yeah, man. It's hard sometimes.
Right. Free Tillman, man. Bro, definitely appreciate you being on the Klyph Notes podcast, B.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. Check them out. freetillman.com for all your Free Tillman needs. Be on the look for the release of the new project, 1994. It drops on Friday the 13th of July. And then check them out doing this thing live on the 13th as well. Once again, man, big shout out to my folk at X-Ray FM for supporting the Klyph Notes podcast. And of course, big ups to Acapella Apparel for their support of the Klyph Notes podcast. Check them out at acapella.com. That's AKEPELE.com. And then 1,000 thanks go to my guy, Theory Has It, for the theme to the Klyph Notes podcast. Check us out all over the place, man. Wherever you listen to your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, like literally everywhere. And do me a solid and comment and share and rate because that goes a long way in helping us do what we're trying to do. All right, y'all. Check me out on social media at DJ Klyph, at DJ KLYPH. And then Free, where you at on social media?
It's Free Tillman everything, man.
That's what, man. Keep it easy.
Keep it simple. Free Tillman everything.
Or check out the website, djklyph.com. So until we have an opportunity to connect again, God bless you all. Peace.